movies for black girl nerds.
Oh, the OG influencers, the OG influencers. These kids don't know about influencing like Carly
They don't know. Jeandra, they don't know.
They're not knowing. They're not knowing. Well, thank you guys for your time. Season 2, congratulations. I love the more grown iCarly family and seeing you all back together again. Miranda, beginning with you, this season, lots of comedy, lots of jokes. I've always loved that about the show, but still messaging within that comedy. Why do you think comedy is such a great vehicle for communicating some of the trials that Carly goes through, the growing pains, and just life in general?
I mean, for me, like I've almost everything I watch, all my favorite things are comedies because I just love laughing and I love feeling better at the end of the day after I watch something. So I think that was kind of, our hope coming back with this show, during a pandemic and all the crazy things happening in the world, not only to get to like be together again and get to make the show, but also, to make people smile. So, yeah, I mean, it's great getting to come back for the second season. There was a big weight lifted because the first season we were obviously all really nervous about how people were going to receive the show and if they were going to like it. And yeah, we just had a great time this season. We kind of pushed the boundaries and got weirder and sillier and did crazier stuff. And I hope people like it.
I do. Nathan, over to you. The audience, historically, you all were characters that everyone loved and gravitated immediately. And with this new version, this new chapter in all of the characters' lives, it was like no beats were missed. It was a real natural progression. Nathan, when you look at the fandom and the people who have gravitated back to the show, some a little older, lots of new fans with the addition of new characters, is it surprising to you, humbling? What emotion do you feel when you see how the audience has grown with you and continued with you?
Humbling's a great word. I mean, the show was such a marked success, in its initial run, and it was like Miranda's saying, it was such a weight to try to re-deliver on that promise, with these characters that are so beloved by these people and who grew up with them. It was a pretty immense weight, at the beginning to really try to do justice to what they wanted. And I think, it was gratifying ultimately to know that we put a lot of thought into what we were hoping that people would like. And we had a lot of conversations, went back and forth on a lot of things. And ultimately the mantra has tried to be, what do the fans want? What can we do for them that does our characters justice, does the show's justice, and does these new characters justice as well? These people that we've just met for the first time, how do we enmesh them and get them engaged in the same way that people have been engaged to us, for so long. And I just hope that comes across as something that this is really, truly in so many ways, a love letter to the fans. And it seems like that has worked, the first time around. And what we've tried to do is just take those elements that worked in the first season and expand on them even more. Keep adding those adult elements, put that grown up varnish over just absolute wackiness and craziness and sort of aspirational things that our characters get to do that hopefully are things that are gratifying for the audience to watch.
Mm-hmm. I do enjoy that you say that. It is just a growing up on it. Sometimes when shows come back, it doesn't have that same allure. Jerry, for your character Spencer, I love that you still have the essence of the Spencer that we love, but we have little Millicent who is working with you, and she is also following in that vein of comedy. And I love when the two of you do scenes together. When you revisited back Spencer to bring him back to life for this version of iCarly, where do you go back and watch yourself? What do you do to get Spencer back going again in the way that we've loved him? Because and then all y'all look great. Y'all don't even look like your age. Still look like teenagers.
I don't go back and watch me, but there, every once in a while somebody will send me like a meme or something that'll really remind me of what Spencer was. But I sort of had the easiest job of the three of us in that Spencer was already grown up at the time. And so, you know, especially those scenes you talk about with Spencer and Millicent, which I love too, it's very reminiscent of the Spencer Carly or Spencer Sam, you know what I mean? Or even Spencer Gibby. It was like, I had the joy of being the sort of dumb grown up, and I still am, you know, and it's kind of like riding a bike. It's just fun. And and I think people like seeing it because it's, you know, the kids are the smart ones, you know?
Well, you know, there's a lot of intelligence that goes in a good comedy. So you are a smart one too. Well, I thank you guys for your
That's
time.
all I need to hear is that I'm a
birthday.
genius.
I'm gonna tell people. Thank you, you guys. Miranda, we have the same birthday. It comes up on my thing every year. Have a wonderful second season. Shout out to Team Tauruses everywhere. And you guys have a great season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, Jeandra.
Hi. I love that you guys are part of this cast. iCarly historically has had these terrific characters that the audience was able to gravitate to quickly and warm up quickly, the two of you being no exception. Laci, for you, beginning with Harper. Harper is an interesting character because she represents a lot of things that we've never seen before in this franchise, with being pansexual, with just being fun, coming from wealth, transitioning into a new stage. When you look at the character as a whole, what do you enjoy most about portraying her, and what was attractive to you when you agreed to the part?
What I enjoy the most about playing Harper has to be being able to play this kind of like bougie character that is very up to date, very current, you know, obviously representing a lot of different minority classes, but also being able to be wacky and weird. And, you know, we're going to see her putting, you know, Spencer's character out of a fire. Like, we're going to see her doing some weird stuff, you know, some fun, weird stuff with animals. So it's fun to play a Black girl on a TV show where you're not just kind of honoring that sassy trope, or, you know, you get to that airport, girl, you know, like, exactly. Yeah, so she's so much more than that. So getting to play a fully realized, so fun and goofy character has been great.
I like that. I mean, there's some of like the staccato and the cadence that she uses. It makes me think of like Lucille Ball, and, you know, a lot of physicality. Is really, really fun. And I love seeing you play that. Jaidyn, over to you for Millicent. What I enjoy, she's so smart and so interesting, but she's also very funny. You have wonderful comedic timing. So when you're practicing, what is the key to nailing it? Because, you know, there's lots of shows where people try to be funny and they're not, and you land your beat all the time. So when you think about making people laugh, what's the trick to it for you?
I think watching shows, as you know, Jaidyn, sitting on my couch watching shows and studying all the actresses on there definitely helped me with my comedic timing and knowing what can make me laugh. So I go based off of what I prefer as comedy. So when I watch shows like that, I'll study, you know, when I laugh, who I laugh at, and I'll try my best, you know, add that to my knowledge as an actress and use that for Millicent.
Mm-hmm. For back over to you, Laci. With Harper, we're going to see her feel some emotions, even within the comedy. You know, there are things that she's going through, that she's experiencing. Why do you think comedy is such a good vehicle for communicating some of these messages and these things that she'll go through during the season?
I really enjoy playing Harper, especially in season 2, because we are seeing her have some difficulties, but they're obviously met in a funny way. I think that comedy lends itself to like telling even like the smallest dramatic storylines, because real funny jokes are rooted in truth. You know, we laugh because there's some part of that we've experienced or that we know to be true. You know, it's all about connection. So I think that when you see characters go through maybe more challenging situations that might even trigger something in your own life, especially because these characters have grown up with the original iCarly audience, so a lot of us are experiencing the same things. You know, it's really amazing to have comedy kind of be like an easier vehicle into addressing some challenging, you know, situations that come with being alive right now.
For sure. And lastly, Jaidyn, for you, Carly is the OG influencer. And now influencing is a big deal. So when you think about influencers that you enjoy watching, who do you think has it easier? Do you think Carly would have it easier as an influencer, or would influencers now have the easier job because there's more tools, I guess you could say, to share your content?
There's definitely way more tools for the influencers now. With Carly using her old ways of doing iCarly, Laci. I think that she's trying to bring nostalgia from her fans on iCarly, but influencers now have more tools and apps like TikTok, Instagram, those places. So I think I like iCarly a little bit more because it's more old school. Laci, don't laugh.
Y'all know how when Jesus came, yeah,
It's just very nostalgic, but influencers now definitely have way more tools.
For sure. Well, thank you, ladies. I enjoyed you so much. I've got to see the first 2 episodes, and you two are just lovely, and I love you in the show. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. It was so nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah.
Take care.
You too.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.